My application Constitufinder covers the basis of a historical statistical analysis between two states' senatorial history, and, amongst other things, gives you a numerical read on which states you have a superior chance of winning a seat in the Senate based upon your party affiliation. I'll demonstrate my product's various features and how my planning manifested itself into an Android application. My program opens on a splash screen, presenting the users with two options. If this is your first time using Constitufinder, you can press "What does this mean?" and be presented with a following splash screen, with both the application, what the application achieves, and why it does what it does. Utilizing standards of the Android material design and user interface, you can use the on-screen back button to recede from any page onto the opening splash screen to restart, such as this. If the user presses the majority of the screen, excluding the text box I just presented, the user is prompted with two buttons and three list pickers. The first list picker correlates with the two major political parties in U.S. history, the Republicans and the Democrats. You can see here, let's just choose Republicans. The program draws from two files with both percentages of senators in a given state elected under both the Democratic or Republican Party. Once the political party is selected, both the list pickers below, both intended to allow the users to choose states for statistical analysis, correspond with data sets from the selected party. So let's just choose Arizona here. The numbers displayed besides the state's abbreviation are arbitrary and have no correlation with the value attached to each state. The reason they are displayed is a limitation within MIT App Inventor, the IDE I utilize, wherein you cannot display a singular column of a CSV file in a list picker, so those numbers can be ignored. This is a feature that could be improved upon in future versions and updates of MIT App Inventor. So let's just pick a second state here. You may select two states after selecting your party. If you'd like to reset all of the elements in the list picker back to their default states, you can press the reset button, such as this. Let's just reselect stuff. Let's go Democrat, New Hampshire, and let's toss New Jersey on there. This affects the party selection and both state selections. However, once you're ready to send your states and political party, you can press the Continue button in the bottom right-hand corner, which functions as a bevy of purposes. This button sends you to the third and final screen. It executes the algorithms that decide which states wins in the comparison. This has to be sent via this button, as each screen in MIT App Inventor essentially functions as its own sovereign application. Sorry, restart there. For the reason you cannot use global variables between screens, so this button sends the global winner variable value over to the third screen. Alongside this function, it also posts your final choices and results to a Google Sheet file via Google Forms and the web component of MIT App Inventor. I will demonstrate what this sends later on. However, now we can go to the final splash page and simply see the winning state. So we can say that in this instance, New Hampshire has the higher statistical chance of being elected in. Now, we can go to the Google Sheets, and I'll explain that as soon as I get to that application. So now that I can head over to the Google Sheets in Android as well, it is updated promptly as the Continue button is pressed. This sends every entry, including the political party selection, the first state selection, the second state selection, and which state won, as well as the timestamp over at the front there. It does this via the web send function in MIT App Inventor. It sends to the results Google Sheet that I told it to. It sends the data from the three list pickers at the prompt to continue button, which sends the data to a Google Forms survey sheet, which in turn sends the data entered into the HTML of a Google Sheet, which fulfills the spreadsheet. This is less applicable in the context of an IB project. However, if a future user wanted to gain a further understanding of their user base by learning what political party their users claim allegiance to, and a rough estimation of their geographic location based upon their selections, someone looking into either advertising, monetizing, or for example, using Google AdSense on this project, this different function would be vastly helpful in a means that's not directly surveying the users.